Hey there everybody, this is Tobin Carter, and today I am going to be talking to you about some book recommendations. So for today's video, I am going to be doing the if you like this, then you'll like that book tag. I am very excited to do this. It's one of my personal favorite book tag things I've seen people do, and I am very excited to try it out myself. So yeah, basically the way this book tag works is I will say if you like this and then show you a popular young adult novel or middle grade novel or whatever, then you'll like this and I'll give you a more underrated novel that has similar tones, characters, genres, etc. To start this off, I'm going to start with if you liked Divergent by Veronica Roth, then you will like the New Worlds trilogy by Jennifer Wilson. Now, the New World trilogy is a lot like Divergent, except it takes place in a world where people are kept outside of a walled city. After a complete cataclysmic world apocalypse that wasn't caused by human, but actual natural disaster, which I find actually quite interesting, seeing like humans suffering by something that's completely out of their control. The New World series is by Jennifer Wilson. It is published by Of Tomes Publishing, and it is a delightfully shocking read. Every chapter winds up leading you into the world a little bit more, and there is a very big mystery as to who the people on the inside of the wall are, and what secrets do they have. And it winds up being very complex. A nice little web is built around the series as to who you can trust and who you can't, because a number of our characters are from inside the wall, including the main character herself, despite the fact that she was too young to remember it. Now she has to figure out why some of these characters don't trust her and who her parents really were. The New World trilogy is 3 books. It is New World Rising, New World Ashes, and New World Inferno. All 3 of which have these amazing covers on them. Like, there's a set. I love them. The books are very action-packed, very fast-paced. I don't really think the books ever get too slow. If you're just looking to sit down and read a nice, exciting, action-packed adventure, definitely recommend the New World trilogy, especially if you like Divergent. In Divergent, there are 5 factions. In the New World series, there are 5 tribes, although don't go getting merch just yet, because these tribes are ruthless. So, the New World series kind of has like the post-apocalyptic feel, and kind of like this, almost like the Grounders and the 100 kind of vibe to it. So yeah, it becomes a very nice little web story that I think a lot of people should read when possible. Definitely check it out. It really brings back the young adult dystopia vibes that I've loved since I started reading. So, 10 out of 10, do recommend if you can read it. If you like Paper Towns by John Green, then you will love Second Star by Elisa B. Scheinmal. It is an intoxicating romance story that I actually want. It is a Peter Pan retelling in which there is a love triangle between Wendy, Peter, and Jay, who is kind of like a younger version of Captain James Hook. It winds up becoming a very interesting web as Wendy's 2 brothers have disappeared. The last 2 people to have seen them are Peter, along with his little band of misfits, who are, believe it or not, based off the Lost Boys and Tinkerbell, of course. And Jay, who is a bit of a party animal, kind of drug dealer kind of guy. Now, it's up to Wendy to decide which one of these people she can trust, and which one of them may know where her 2 brothers are before they disappeared. The trick? What happens if she falls in love? It's a very exciting book. It was fast-paced. I read it in a 5-hour car ride. I just flew through it. It was a quick book, wonderful book. Kind of had that mystery feeling from Paper Towns, as well as the romance kind of reminded me a lot about the romance that you read in Paper Towns. So it's a truly enjoyable book. There's also a lot of surfing vibes, dude! And a lot of kind of like Just kind of like fun stuff. It's a great summer read. If you haven't read it, definitely recommend. Second star. Liked The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, because let's be honest, who doesn't? Then I recommend The 100 by Cass Morgan. This series is on the CW. It is a TV show, which if you haven't seen, go do that. It's the best show on the CW. One of the best shows on Netflix, if not the best show. It's my personal favorite show, like, ever. And it's incredible. Can't be recommended enough. The 100. But there is actually a series of books that the show is based off of. The books have a very different plotline than the actual show. The basic story for the 100 novel, which is somewhat similar to the beginning of Season 1 of the TV series, but don't let that fool you, they do diverge in pathways, is that the Earth was destroyed in a nuclear cataclysm. Well, what does that mean for our heroes? How did they survive? They fled up into the outskirts of space. Well, maybe not that far. But they did leave the planet and go into a space station orbiting their planet. Now, generations later, that space station is slowly coming apart. What does that mean for our heroes? They won't be able to survive for more than maybe 2 months, 3 months? So they send down the juvenile delinquents to see if the Earth is survivable. Now, this is where the story begins to differ from the TV show. Instead of discovering and becoming part of a major war between nations, surviving nations, the novel takes and has our characters explore the Earth through almost the entire first book. The excitement of this, we wind up getting a very Lord of the Flies kind of feeling as these characters are trying to decide who governs who falls in love with who, where do they stand on the totem pole. Meanwhile, we have another character who is not in the series named Glass. She was supposed to be sent down with all of our main characters, Clark, Wells, and Bellamy, to planet Earth, but she escaped at the very last minute. Glass is now left on the spaceship and has to decide what she is going to do with her limited time left. Who is she going to talk to? Well, she has her ex-boyfriend Luke. What her ex-boyfriend does not know is that Glass has a dark secret. So we get to see Glass sort of maneuvering through her life with him, trying to explain as the end of days come what she did. And as the story goes, eventually you find out what happened to her and how she wound up doing this terrible act. It becomes a very intoxicating story, and eventually through thick and thin, our characters wind up reconverging later in the series. I'm not going to tell you how, I'm not going to tell you when, but I will tell you it's a very satisfying nod, and it also adds to a lot of action that we do get in later books. Book 1 is very docile, it's a very quick read. I think I read it in 2 days. I couldn't set it down. So if you haven't, check out The 100 by Cass Morgan, or watch the show, also recommended. Or, if you want to be awesome, do both. Do both. So yeah, The 100 by Cass Morgan is a lot like The Hunger Games. There are very strong characters in it, a very compelling storyline, as well as a bit of a Lord of the Flies kind of feel. If you like one, I think you will like the other. If you like the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, then you will love the Keeper of the Lost Cities series by Shannon Messenger. This series has a lot in common with the series of The Boy Who Lived. However, there are no wizards per se. There are elves who have hidden themselves among the planet. How? A collection of magic and spells and stuff like that. Very similarly, there is a school of magic that has different years as you go through, but that's where the similarities end. All elves look the same in general characteristics. They all have the same eye color, they all kind of have the same ears, they aren't elves like little tiny Santa elves, but yeah, they are elves, magical creatures, almost immortal. They are very cool. Well, what happens is Sophie is not like a normal elf. She, in fact, doesn't even know she is one until one day she is brought in because she begins displaying these abilities. This leads into an adventure because she does not have the same blue eyes as every other elf, nor does she have all of the training that an elf does. In fact, no one even knows who her true lineage is. So this leads into a very complex mystery as people are trying to figure out who this Sophie character is, where she stands in the world, as she tries to figure out where she stands in the new world as well. The series is truly enjoyable, magical, all of that. You will enjoy every page of it. I definitely recommend. The books have this sort of magical quality. They are original, and they are magical. Just every page kept me flipping on to the next. I wanted to find out. The mysteries wind up getting bigger in each book. They get longer, and they're pretty good length to begin with. They're all fast reads too, so you're never going to be going through it and going, oh, here we go, another page of exposition. They all have a general plot going on. So, definitely, if you have not read this series, give it a try. I don't think you will regret it. The last recommendation on this list is if you like The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, then you will love The Strand Prophecy by the Winter Twins. The Strand Prophecy takes place without aliens, per se, but does feature a wide variety of more mutated humans. Yes, that is right. The world is ending due to solar radiation reflecting off of the moon's surface, thus poisoning the Earth, causing rapid mutations that lead to a chain of evolution that should have taken thousands of years. The catch? This enhanced evolution winds up leading to people evolving based off of personality traits instead of needs. As they do so, some become wild, feral, monstrous even, while others become much more tamed and gain X-Men-like powers. These two clash as the remaining survivors of normal humanity have to figure out how they are going to ride out this storm and lead into a new era of peace. The world is ending in the Strand Prophecy, but it is not ending for these characters. These characters are strong, determined to survive, and beyond all else, well developed. In fact, any character that is not fully developed in Book 1 gets fully developed in Book 2, while characters who are lead or constantly on the page in Book 1 get to take a bit more of a backseat in Book 2 and let these new characters shine. It truly gives you a worldview from multiple characters' perspectives, as well as allowing room for a third, fourth, and more novels to follow up and finish telling the story in a grand finale. I'm very excited actually for Book 3 to come out. The Winter Twins have been writing a lot of books recently. Perfect Compatibility Test, which I absolutely love. They have Winter's Wyvern, that just came out actually. I haven't gotten my copy yet. Brianna Winter has actually written a poetry novel named Millennial Madness, which is, from what I've heard, amazing. I haven't gotten my copy yet of that either, but I'm ordering it tonight. So yeah, I'm very excited for those books. I haven't read them, but I am very excited. I've read Perfect Compatibility Test. I have not yet read Winter's Wyvern or Millennial Madness, but I am very excited to read those two. But yeah, if you are looking for an exciting, enjoyable, end-of-the-world sort of situation with strong characters similar to The Fifth Wave, then look no further than The Strand Prophecy. It is incredible. Definitely 10 out of 10. Do recommend. I cannot share this enough. Plus, it also has, in the back, a really cool art gallery, which not a lot of books have. So it winds up kind of giving you, if any descriptions are kind of confusing, something to reference, which is really nice, really refreshing. The Winter Twins have such a unique voice in the young adult novels that I cannot recommend them enough. If you can, check out The Strand Prophecy. It is truly one of a kind. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. These are some of my personal favorite novels, but I do have more. So I will be posting more as time progresses. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have an awesome night, and be lit, fam.